I feel like shit.
Monday, happy days. Tuesday, Wednesday, happy days.
It's just one of
Friday,
those
happy
days.
days. The weekend comes, let's not go out.
It's just one of those days where you don't want to wake up. Everything is everybody sucks. You don't really know why, but you want to justify ripping someone's head off. No human contact, and if you interact, your life is on contract. Your best bet is
Just knock it off, you scum fuckhead.
it's just one of those days. It's just one of
Monday,
those.
happy days.
It's just one of
Tuesday,
those.
happy days.
It's just one of
Friday,
those
happy days.
days.
The weekend comes, let's not go out. Ready to extend.
It's just one of those days, feeling like a freight train. First one to complain, please with the blood stain. Damn right, I'm a maniac. You better shoot, cause I'm fucking up your program. And you go stuck up, you just locked up. Next in line to get fucked up. Your best bet is to stay away, motherfucker. It's just,
I'm losing my cool.
it's all about
Monday, happy days.
it's just one of
Tuesday,
those,
happy days.
it's just one of those
Happy days.
days.
The weekend comes, let's not go out. Ready to extend.
Feel like shit. My suggestion is distance. Right now I'm dangerous. Right now I'm dangerous.
Something's happening to the bonds.
My day keeps going this way and this way.
I'm gonna pop you one so you'll start playing games.
Give me something great. Give me something great. I hope you know I'm like a chainsaw. A chainsaw. A motherfucking chainsaw.
What?
So come and get it.
There we go, I'm muted. Right, perfect. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another edition of Chief Moody Live. I am your host for this evening, Chief Moody. Thank you very much for being here today. I see we've got some recognizable, faces in the chat just now. Even 13 people watching, which is pretty impressive. Especially still, Bonnie Lad is still streaming his Great British History quiz, which I think he started about an hour ago. But again, it's still nice to see a lot of people in the chat just now. So, for example, we got Gammon Sandwich. Hello, sir. How you doing? Also, Rambling Rattlesnake. Let's see. Howdy from across the pond. Happy Easter. Happy Easter to you too, sir. Thank you for watching the stream. That was actually one of the things I was going to say. Even before that, Rob D. Hello. How you doing? Gammon Sandwich again. Tony Smith. Hello. How you doing? Thank you for watching the stream. And lastly, Charlie Kenwright. Afternoon. I think it's evening now, but it doesn't. Yeah, but to be fair, it doesn't feel like the evening. It still feels like the afternoon. But what can you say? And lastly, EMR, thank you for watching the stream. Oh, welcome. So, first things first, I want to say happy Easter to everybody for watching the stream, whether you're watching it right now or even if you've missed the stream and you're watching it again. Again, happy Easter to you too. I always get pretty confused with Easter because every single time when it comes up in April, I always seem to think it happens in the middle of April or towards the end. But sometimes throughout the years, it usually happens middle of April, towards the end of April, or even this year at the very start of the month during April. So I always get pretty confused as to when exactly does April happen because of course, you see all the big mega stores like Asda, Tesco, or anywhere else start selling Easter eggs as soon as, I don't know, February or March hits around the corner or something like that. But yeah, even Rob D says it always changes. Yeah, so I think everyone tends to say that always changes. So I think what I'll do maybe next year or years to come, I'll definitely make sure to know when exactly Easter does happen, and that way we'll definitely see from there. Oh, Gavin Sandwich. Let's see. I wonder if our gay socialist friend will show up today. I don't know. I really don't think he will, but because I think just a little quick message about that. After the stream ended last week. So I still got a Twitter account, of course. I'm not going to delete it or anything like that at all. I'm kind of hoping it to be the Twitter account to be completely suspended, but anyway, that's beside the point. After that stream ended last week, I keep getting messages on my phone from Proton Mail, because that's what I got from my YouTube email, and it's from Twitter, basically saying, on Twitter you get private DMs from someone like, oh, here's such and such from Twitter send you a private DM. Well, I had a little quick look at that, and who was it from? It was from Styx himself, and I swear to God, there was about maybe round about, say, just after 7 p.m. Round about that time, I swear to God, there was about 7 or 9 messages from him all about that night during that stream, and he was talking about how oh, what exactly happened? Your cowardly mods, decided to ban me from the chat, or so on and so forth. And I'm just like, I'm not gonna deal with this. I'm too tired to deal with that kind of shit anyway. But I don't know. I think he was complaining about that he was banned from the chat. Which, to be fair with everyone, I did have a quick look at the chat from last week, and I did see that that he was posting a lot of comments left and right, especially when he asked me the fundamental question of where do gay people stand in the ethnos state, which of course I did finally answer that question for him. And as per usual for someone like him, he does not like the answer given to him. So what can you really do? So anyway, that's that being said. So I don't know if he will show up tonight or maybe not. Maybe he's watching, I don't know. But Styx, if you're watching, hello to you too. Happy Easter to you. Maybe he's able to be writing something in the chat. I don't know, but we'll just need to wait and see. So it'd be kind of funny if I'm coming back in the chat and maybe continue on with the conversation. But who knows? What was the other thing to mention? I did mention Happy Easter to everyone, which hopefully everyone has a good Easter. So of course the other thing to mention is this is the third time in a row where I had to do a stream. Not on a Saturday, but on a Sunday. And if you don't follow me on Telegram, the reason for that being is mainly because of work commitments, especially this week, where I was working yesterday and I was also working on Friday. Friday, what's happened there, and also tomorrow, because that's where, of course, I'm going back into work, is that because it's the Easter weekend, they've asked me if I wanted to start early, but that means I would also finish early. So what happened on Friday, and also same thing happening tomorrow when I go back, I'll need to start at 6 o'clock in the morning, and then that means I finish up until 2:30 in the afternoon, which means it gives me more time to do whatever I want after the shift, and it finishes. But then, of course, Tuesday up until Friday after that, it goes back from 8 o'clock in the morning till 4:30 in the afternoon. So that's what I'm doing tomorrow. So I need to be up bright and early for that. Probably 4:20 in the morning, which of course it's not very ideal for me. But hey, if I start at 6 o'clock, that means I finish early on that day anyway at 2:30. So it's kind of like a good and bad thing with that. So as long as I finish at 2:30, at least that means it's all done and dusted, and I can spend the rest of the day to myself after that. Another thing I was going to mention was a bit of an update in terms of what I want to do with the future stuff on my channel. I want to start off with the videos first. So I did talk about time and time again that instead of live streaming, I've got other videos in the works, say like the Scottish hate crime bill. I want to talk about the other things like demographics and whatnot. There was also another one I think was in the works of what was it about again? It was about a certain victim that happened in terms of like white people and such. But those videos that were in the works, I decided to kind of scrap them and maybe start. Well, not maybe. I definitely want to start over again with those kinds of videos. Mainly because I've been looking through the past. Oh dear. Oh no, just 1 second. Sorry, excuse me. Lost my train of thought there with that. Yes, so what I was just going to say with that was, looking back on my older videos, besides doing my live streaming, I've not really been satisfied with those videos, mainly because it's mainly because I felt like they're not very well thought out properly, but which is why in the future, when it comes to my future videos, what I want to do is that I want to get a notebook or maybe write something down on my laptop here and just take a lot of notes. So if there's any specific topics that I want to cover, quote bogey. I don't do that kind of shit, Ian. I'm not a cokehead. But back to the seriousness when it comes to that. I want to start taking notes of any particular topic. So, say for example, I want to talk about the Keystone Pipeline, which is something I want to cover in just a short second during the stream. What I'll do is I'll just write down the basic notes here and there, and maybe try and formulate them into a coherent sentence, if you will. And then kind of go on from there. And anything to maybe take away or maybe something to add on, at least I've got my notes there, and then that way it'll be all done in that way as well. Even during the editing process, if I felt there's anything that needs to be added in or anything like that at all, then at least it's there for that to be done. So I'm definitely going to do that for my future videos. In fact, when it comes to my Scottish hate crime bill, which was in the works for many, many months, I'm definitely going to start that over again because I have a clear idea what I want to do with that particular video. So just can you may been called today, don't you think that one is freezing? Yeah, it's been surprisingly cold the past couple of days, which you think because it's now April, you think that maybe it would be a lot warmer now, considering we're just approaching, well, we're in spring now, or we're vastly, slowly but surely approaching summer, but I guess not. Even it's supposedly so cold that we're supposed to be getting snow. I don't know if it's like that in England or Wales or even Northern Ireland, but I definitely heard that in Scotland, at least, there's meant to be snow here during April, which I don't know if that's going to be the case. I mean, especially in April, but I just hope it does get a bit warmer. So, but I don't know if it's the same with you guys as well. But I've noticed it's been very windy up here. So, not only has it been really cold, but it's also been very windy too. Because whenever I'm out the back garden having a smoke break, whatever, it's like very windy and also very cold. So it's like two things that really annoy me when it comes to smoking, which I guess I don't know if that's supposed to be a sign for me needing to quit smoking, but I can't help it. Like smoking is a very it's one of my favorite pastimes kind of thing, like stress reliever and all of that. But again, that's just me. So maybe I'm thinking about quitting smoking later on, but not just yet. But again, it's just one of the things that really need just to wait and see. Another thing that just came to my attention on my phone, we just talked about sticks. Just real quick, hold on one sec. We are to get snow over the next few days. Oh, Jesus, weather forecasts say no part of Britain immune from this chance of snow tomorrow. It warmed up, but last 2 days has been grim. We regularly get a dump mid to end of April. I have the collarbone to prove it. Jesus, hailstones in June, a staple of Scotland. So, Dunham, how are you doing? Thank you for watching the stream. But yeah, what would you say just now was a bit of an update on. I also came to my attention on my phone. We just talked about sticks there. So he just messaged me on Twitter, which I'm assuming he is watching the stream right now. He just messaged me on Twitter saying unblock me cunt. So I mean I would definitely want to unblock him, and if he wants to cooperate better into the stream, but because of that very very harsh message there, the unblock me cunt message he sent me on Twitter, I don't know if I really want to now, because that's not very nice, Sticks. That's not very nice at all. But hey, so and plus, Sticks, I just also want to say just real quick, if you are watching, I wasn't the one that blocked you. Okay, if you want to be unblocked, then I guess it's up to the moderators themselves. But hey yo, let's see, Charlie Kenwright, let him in. Yeah, if Charlie says that, then yeah, let's definitely do it. Let's see here, Chief Moody, maybe put it to a vote. Sure, absolutely. So what to do, guys, if that's the case, when it comes to Quit Sticks Productions, again, just to come into the chat, again, just this last week and also previous weeks. What to do is type what. So if the question is, would you like Sticks to come back into the chat and maybe engage in conversations with myself and of course you guys in the chat? So what to do is kind really childish. What to do is, guys, type in 1 if you would like them to be in the chat and engage in a conversation and all of that. So 1 for yes or 2 for no, and then I'll let you choose from there. Let's EMR who? Quick Sticks Productions. Him and I have a small bit of, I don't want to say a small bit of history, but we kind of spoke to each other in the past when I was a CivNat, when I first started it. First started doing YouTube back in 2018, I think it was. Quite friendly, towards each other here and there, but anyway, I don't know if we need a Bob back in the chat, but I think there's been 2 1, so 1 2 1. Forgot. Hold on one sec. I just want to see if I can get this up here. Right, so Charlie 1, Sparky 1692, Tony Smith 1, Ragnar Iron Spear 1. So as it looks like yes is the winning option here at the moment, so that's fine. Just maybe wait for a couple more. EMR 1, that's fine. I think a few more. Type it in 1 at the moment, so that should be all right. Maybe just a few more, or I don't know if anyone else has voted yet. I think there's vast majority of people in the chat have voted already. Let's see. Gamma Sandwich as a mod and the proposer of the vote. I'm staying neutral. All right, that's fair enough. Fair enough. And Rob D 1. So it looks like 1 is the overwhelming majority of the vote. So again, that seems fine. So what to do if that's the case, unless if there's anyone else maybe wanting to vote, because it looks like there's been multiple ones and only 1, 2. Of course, Sparky voted for 2, so he's the 1. So we can always block him again if he acts like a prick. You never know. So moderators, which are Gammon and then Joe Citizen, which I don't know if he's here yet or still on Bonnie Lad's stream or any other stream. But what to do is, if you can unblock Sticks, have him engage in the conversation into the chat. And Ragnar Iron Spear and also Charlie said the best. If he acts like a douchebag at any point during the stream or in the chat or anything like that at all, then feel free to block him or anything like that. But again, just unblock him for now and let him engage into the chat just now. So just let him do our work for us. Oh, jeez. But let's try and make it. Let's try and make it as civil as we possibly can here, folks. So let's try and make it civil, okay? So, moderators, if you can unblock him, that'd be great. We'll see from here. Oh, hold on one sec. Moody, you're the only one that can unblock him. Oh, I see. Right. Hold on one sec. Let me check something here. You're the only one that can unblock him. Right. Okay, here. Keep getting a lot of that's fine. That's for later on. For other channel, that's fine. Let me see if I can find. Where is it? Okay. I kind of feel bad streaming on the Sunday because I know that that Bonnie Lad is streaming, or he's been streaming since like 5 p.m. with his quiz. But even then, I don't, because I'm still pretty tired at the moment anyway, so I don't know if I want to do the stream long or anything like that at all, but again, we'll see from there. Let me see here. Okay, so let me see if I can try and get that sorted for Sticks on that. No, let's just do comments. Right, that's fine. Okay, this one here. Okay. Community, maybe it's in here. Here we go. Right, so hidden users, right, remove that. Save that. So hopefully that will be that sorted. Okay. Sticks, if you're watching the stream, I've just unblocked you from that just now. So that means you can type in whatever you want in the chat just now. But if you're going to do so, please try and be as civil as you possibly can. But that's you unblocked now, Sticks. Despite the fact of the comment you made, but hey, I still unblocked you anyway. So let's keep it at that. So, anyway, so what was I gonna say in the meantime? Oh yeah, going back to what I was saying about the future state of my channel. So I did talk about in terms of video uploads besides live streaming. In terms of what I talked about last week of wanting to do film reviews and also let's plays, just before I went live just now, I've just recently downloaded, and I'm not too sure if anyone in the chat knows what this is. It's called a PCSX2. What that basically is it's a PlayStation 2 emulator. The reason why I started to download that earlier on was mainly because part of the idea of me wanting to do, whether it be live streaming or maybe just recordings of me playing some video games here and there from a channel, I kind of thought that the PlayStation 2 was one of my favorite consoles of all time. So I thought maybe if I can try and find an emulator, and supposedly the one I downloaded is considered to be one of, if not the best, PlayStation 2 emulators out there. So I downloaded that, and there has been a selection of games I definitely want to download in the future, whether it be just standard video game let's plays or maybe stuff that I may do with like some kind of like Halloween specials kind of a thing months down the line. But I've downloaded that. I am in the process of trying to sort out some configurations with that. So you might not see anything about that maybe this week or next week or anytime soon. It's just so that I just get all the configurations sorted. And that way, once I get that sorted, I'll definitely start doing some Let's Plays of that with either on the PlayStation 2 emulator or even on my PS4 for that matter. I can't remember who asked me last week, but there was someone in the chat who said that, or maybe it'd be like a good idea to play some like kind of based games or here and there, which is a very valid point. I do have some. If I'm going to do some Let's Plays on my channel, there are some games I specifically want to play for that. If I even got some lists here, and I'm not too sure if anyone remembers these games in the past. Well, let me show you, for example. Hold on. So I've got this one up here. This one I've been thinking about doing for a long while now. That's the film. I'm talking about the game, which has nothing to do with the film whatsoever. If I can get that up here and even get a large image of it, that'll do. What I'll do is I'll just share screen about that just now, share that, and also share audio just in case. But in terms of one of the games, when it comes to the PlayStation 2 emulator, one of the games I really want to play on that, again for the Let's Play streaming or even recordings on my channel, is this game right here. And I'm not too sure if any of you guys remember this game, if you play games or anything like that. The game's called The Getaway. This was a game I played. Well, of course, I shouldn't have been playing it since I was pretty young at the time because this came out in 2002. So this was a year after Grand Theft Auto 3, and I think this was before. In fact, I think it came out even after Vice City and before San Andreas. But this was one of the games people look at it now and think that this is one of these like GTA clones type of games, but it's really not. It is open world. It is very mature and adult and very violent in nature, but it's a lot more story driven. Now, not to say that the Grand Theft Auto games were not story driven by any way, shape, or forms, but let's be honest here. If you have played Grand Theft Auto in the past, most of the time you're just going about running people over, shooting up shops and whatnot, or anything like that at all, especially with a newer game like GTA 5. But with a game like this, The Getaway, which, yes, in essence, is quite similar to Grand Theft Auto, but this one is very. Let's see if I can get the image larger, actually. But this game is very story driven. It's a well, I don't really want to spoil it to be fair, because again, it's one of those games I really want to play for like a live stream or even recordings or anything like that at all. Just trying to see if I can get like a larger image. And if you guys want, I can also show some footage online. Again, just to maybe clear up some memory. Yeah, here we go. So here's a cover for it. So not to spoil anything for that matter, but this was one of the few games that came out that was very cinematic in nature. This was a game that came out that even though it was kind of ahead of its time when it came out, but this was one of the games that was really trying to, instead of just making it just like an old school game, it was trying to be also very cinematic in nature, where it was almost like you were watching a film but also playing a video game at the same time. And this game was also pretty controversial when it came out due to a certain scene, which again, I don't want to spoil that just yet, because that would be something coming up later on down the line. But if you have played this game, and if you'll definitely know what I'm talking about, like a certain, well, let's just say it's a certain thing that happens to an Oriental. I'll save that and stop there. So, but it was pretty controversial when it came out. It wasn't. I mean, it was quite a big success to the point there was like a sequel that came out 2 years later called The Getaway Black Monday, but it's not often talked about today than when it first came out, because even though there's been rumors or even some kind of speculations of like a third Getaway game or like a remaster of this game, but no one really talks about this game anymore, and it's kind of sad because it's not a perfect game by any means, but it is one of the best. Well, I don't want to say one of the best, but in terms of story, it is pretty much up there with all the other gangster classics. Despite the fact, when it comes to like any of these old school gangster films, like Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, I think it's called, or Snitch, or Get Carter, or anything like that at all. Those films, yeah, they're gangster films, but they have a bit of like comedy within them, or a bit like black humor. This game does that too, but it's very serious in nature. It's very serious in tone. There is humor to it, but it's very black comedy, or it's very dark in nature. But it's definitely a game up there I definitely want to play in the future for you guys, for like future live streams and all of that. So hopefully everyone remembers that. Now, I hope I'm not like the only one regarding to the Getaway game. And even just seeing the chat, I think there's many people came in. I think that's to do with Bonnie Lad stream over or anything like that at all. But anyway, but even with that being said, if you're watching the stream, thank you very much. For example, Ugly Truth, hello, how you doing? Let's see, Gamma Sandwich, of course. Dragon Energy, hello, how you doing? Thank you for watching the stream. Donald Fox, I was expecting you to come as well. How you doing? Hound of Ulster, hello, how you doing? Thank you for watching the stream. And lastly, Blood Embraces, sir. Yeah, we're coming in from Bonnie last stream. Yeah, so it looks like more people will be coming in, so that's fine. Fair enough. I'm surprised Sticks hasn't showed up yet. I would have thought he would have came in the chat, but oh well. The point is I did unblock them anyway, so that's fine. Let's see here. What the fuck? Sorry guys, I'm just oh no, there he is. Oh, here we go. He's there. Perfect. Well, that's fine. Let's try and keep it civil, everyone. Let's try to keep it civil. So I don't know if I'm getting a bit of a cold or something like that, but or maybe it's to do with the coke. Who knows? Nah, I'm just kidding. Another thing I was going to say in terms of that. So that's the Getaway I want to cover for future streams. There's another game for those who have played games in the past. Let me see here. And another example of a game I really want to play in the future, again, just for like live streaming and whatnot. Let me see here. Share screen, share audio, again, just in case. Let's see here. This one here. Don't know if you guys remember this. It's Mafia 2. This game came out during I think it was the I don't want to say previous generation of consoles, but it came out during the time when the PS3 and Xbox 360 were out. 360, sorry. Wasn't really expecting anything of this, but it's one of my personal favorites. I have played a bit of the remaster that came out not too long ago, and I haven't beaten it, so maybe I might want to give that game another chance. And I've also played 3, but again, I've not beaten that game either, so who knows? But with this one, I've definitely beaten this one, Mafia 2. So definitely is a game I want to maybe play on the channel at some point. Again, it's another personal favorite of mine. Also, I'm trying to think. And maybe even as well, I'll also close that. I don't really need that anymore. Let me see. So is Moody your real last name? Because I'm also a Moody. Represent you. No, Moody is not my actual last name. Moody. It was just a case of I just need like a name for the channel, and that's pretty much it. So I guess some people don't know the origin of where I came up with the name Chief Moody. So if you guys want, I'll give you a bit of Chief Moody lore when it comes to that. So I'm in Texas though, so all right, fair enough. So in terms of Moody, where that came about, it was just because I always thought of myself as a bit of a moody, douchebag or anything like that at all. So I thought, well, Moody, well, all right, fair enough. I'll just use that for the channel's name. Now, in terms of Chief, where that came from, it's kind of a funny story with that because originally I was going to call myself Judge Moody because I was a fan of Judge Dredd and also with the 2000 AD. But then I did a bit of digging into that. And I found out there was actually a character in 2000 AD called Judge Moody. I think there's also like a fan film that was made about that particular character. So I thought, all right, maybe I should change that. So then I was at work, not the work I'm at just now, but like a completely different work at the time. And what I've noticed is that some people actually, some people tend to, because I live in Scotland, people tend to call me Chief. Now in Scotland, I don't know if it's the same in England or Wales or Northern Ireland or even in America for that matter, but mean with like a Scottish thing. But in Scotland, if you call someone Chief, it's often seen as like a sense of endearment. So it's like a way of saying big man or like pal or anything like that. Yeah, again, like I said, like a sense of endearment. So then I thought, well, Chief Moody. All right. So then I thought I'll just use that name from now on. So again, that's where the name Chief Moody came from. So Moody is not my actual last name, but it's just a case of I thought Chief Moody, I might as well just call myself that. And James Hayworth, hello, how are you doing? Master Chief Moody. I think there's a Halo reference, if I'm not mistaken. So despite the fact I've only played the first Halo and the third Halo games, but no, that's a pretty decent reference, that. Scottish Tam, hello, how you doing? Let's see. I appreciate the story, yo. No worries. Murder on the Orient Express must have been a really racist book thingy. Oh, God. Oh, dear. Let's see. I get made fun of sometimes for having the last name like Moody. All in good fun, though. Yeah, like, I never thought people... oh, well. Let's see. Sticks. More like Chief Passive Aggressive Nazi. Okay. I'm passive aggressive. That's rich. Dear. That's fine. That's cool, bro. I actually kind of like that to be honest. Chief Passive Aggressive Nazi. That's pretty decent. That to be fair. So. Anyway, let me see here. I want to cover something. Yeah, so let me see if I can find this just now for you guys. If I can get back onto YouTube real quick, because there was something I definitely want to talk about. Oh, I think I gained 1 subscriber from the stream. Awesome. Well, thanks. Whoever is the new subscriber, thank you very much for subscribing to the channel. Oh, I know exactly what I want to cover, because I think No Chance covered this recently. I think it was something the BBC did not too long ago. Let me see if I can find that here. I don't know if I can actually see or find the actual video itself, but not like No Chance's video, but it's something to do with Scotland's like BAME or something like that. Let me see if I can find that here. BBC breaking the mold, the upcoming election in Scotland. I think it might be it. Let's see. BBC breaking the mold. I don't know if I can actually see the video here. And I don't really want to put up iPlayer as well, because I do not want to support the BBC in any way, shape, or form. So, oh well. Can maybe talk about that the other time. But what I was going to talk about, if you haven't subscribed to No Chance, and you definitely should in this case, No Chance recently talked about a video that was made by the BBC. It was like breaking the mold. Oh no, please, it's horrific. Yeah, I don't think I have the video on me here just now. Maybe I'll talk about that some other time. But in that video, No Chance delved into the BAME community within the Scottish politics. And in that, it was basically a bunch of women going on. A couple of them are white. Most of them are like non-white, talking about their past and becoming members of the Scottish Parliament, and how, of course, nothing's ever enough for these people. No surprise there, and so on and so forth. So again, I don't have the video on hand with me. There's plus No Chance already talked about that. He probably made it much better talking points than what I would have made anyway. So if I what I do is let me see if I can post a link to his channel. Well, not just his channel, but let me see if I can find his video here. Let me see. I'm not going to play the video on the stream, because again, I think it's a bit unfair of watching his video when you can all easily go into his channel and support this video there. So what I'll do is, if you haven't watched it already, here's the link to his video about that. So that's the link to his new video about the topic here, and then just watch that if you've got time, really. And if you haven't liked his video or even subscribed to his channel, please do. Like, it definitely does make very decent content. So again, with that Scotland's BAME election, I'll probably talk about that some other time, because I don't have the video on hand. However, there was something I did want to talk about just now. That's kind of like an update on something I briefly touched upon in another stream, I think it was like a couple of streams ago, maybe a month ago. It was back in February or March, I know that. Let me see here. It's definitely all to do with the Keystone Pipeline, but this one's all to do with the protests that happened. Let me see. But it's fairly recent, this, of course. Let's see here. There should be videos of it here. I did see them on Instagram, but why can't I see them here? Oops. Pipeline protest 21. Damn it. I don't know if I can maybe get them on Instagram or anything like that. But basically, due to what happened recently with the Keystone XL pipeline, the cancellation of that, and of course the loss of jobs, there was like a protest of, well, I don't want to say or even call it a protest, but there was people who supported this idea. I decided to give their support for the Joe Biden administration and all of that, the cancellation of the Keystone Pipeline. So, don't know if I can actually see it there with that. So, let's see. Sticks. It's at least nice to see Scotland will overwhelmingly reject xenophobic nationalism. That's great. Is Jada running in Scotland now? I'm not entirely too sure about that, but let's see. If it, and also just to respond real quick on this comment here, Sticks. It's kind of fascinating to see a comment like this, like they overwhelmingly reject xenophobic nationalism, when it's very funny because someone like Hamza Youssef with his infamous video of overwhelming white people in Scotland. Never mind the fact that Scotland has been historically a white nation. I think it's about currently 96 or 97% white. But the fact he went into the Scottish Parliament and made this piece about, judges white, officers white, so on and so forth. Everyone's seen the video and know what I'm talking about. So I kind of find it funny how Scotland will overwhelmingly reject xenophobic nationalism when someone like Hamza Youssef, who has complete disdain of the native Scottish people within the country. But it's okay when he does it, apparently. So kind of funny that, don't you think? But that's just me. So let's see. And even speaking of the Scottish election this coming May, I really don't know who I'm going to vote for. I'm not too sure for those who live in Scotland as well who they're going to vote for, but I'm definitely not supporting SNP. That's a staunch fact. I mean, there's really no other political party out there that you could really support. I mean, there's Scottish Labour, but then again, they're like completely leftist beyond belief. There's the Scottish Greens, but let's be honest, who really takes them seriously? The Lib Dems. Again, who takes them seriously? Come on. There's the Scottish Tories, but even then, I probably wouldn't vote for them as well. I know there's maybe like more lesser known parties like the Scottish Family Party, and I think there's also the Scottish Libertarian Party. But since I think the idea of libertarianism is absolutely gay, I think that's a no-go for me. Scottish Family Party, at the time before I decided to support Patriotic Alternative, I did thought that maybe the Scottish Family Party might be the ideal party to vote for, but then again, maybe not. So definitely not. So other than that, there's really no other political parties to really vote for in this case for Scotland. They're all completely cucked, in my opinion. And I think it's also going to be very interesting to see what's going to happen with this election, especially with what's been going on with the SNP and also Nicola Sturgeon, because all that stuff coming out, there's absolutely. I really thought there's no way of people would ever support the SNP after that, especially with the Scottish hate crime bill. But again, we're not going to delve into that because I've talked about this to death. Previous streams, and also I'm going to talk about that in a separate video. Ugly Truth, thoughts on George Galloway? Good question. I don't think he's that bad of a guy. I mean, there's stuff I don't necessarily agree with, but he's certainly not like a bad guy in any way, shape, or form. I think I talked about this before, but my first exposure to George Galloway, funny enough, is on Celebrity Big Brother with the cat impression, if you know what I'm on about. That was my first exposure to him. But other than that, I wouldn't say I would consider myself to be a fan of his, but I don't hate him either. It's kind of like just in the middle sort of thing, but that's just me when it comes to that. So, not really a fan of George Galloway, but again, I don't hate the guy either. I mean, so yeah, he has he said things in the past where I do definitely agree with him, but then there's some opinions of his where I'm just like, yeah, I'm not, nah, not really. In fact, there's even one base thing he did recently. I think he had an argument with Hamza Yusuf on Twitter. He said some things to Hamza, which are actually pretty like surprising to say the least. But I was like, "Oh, Jesus, that's I never expected that from George Galloway." But all right, fair enough. So again, he has said some things in the past where I do agree with, but he then goes on to say other things where I'm just like, nah. So I think it's more of like. He's all right. He's not the worst person I've ever seen, but he's certainly not the best or anything with that. So I might have rambled on about George Galloway, but in short, he's okay, more good than bad, but not like the biggest fan or anything like that at all. So. Let's see. G Burger, the Scottish Family Party are more moralistic. Yeah, I kind of get a sense of that, especially when it comes to the religious aspect of that. Nothing against religion or anything like that at all, and I'm not necessarily a religious person myself, but then again, like there should be a bit of like morals within society anyway. But I think with the Scottish Family Party. Yeah, it's just there's just something about that party. I don't know if it's maybe the members of the Scottish Family Party that I'm not too keen on, or maybe their policies or anything like that. Although some policies I do agree with, but I don't know if it's some of the members. I'm just like, But let's see here. Oh, that's what that means. Oh, okay. Hold on one sec. Let me see if I can sort that out. A second here. So that'd be 3 people with spanners. Don't know, folks. If you're watching, I'll give you a spanner right now. Hold on one sec. Let me see here. And also, just respond to a question. Hold on one sec. Let's see. I assume you won't vote for Scottish Labour purely based off of the leader's skin colour. No, it's not because of the fact that he's a brown person sticks. Okay. It's mainly because of the fact that they have left-wing policies that I do not agree with whatsoever. So I love the little gotcha there in terms of assuming that I'm not going to vote for someone based on their skin color, but that's not the case whatsoever. So nice try, buddy. So dear. Right, where do I go? Customers channel, I think. Let's see. Galloway, the man that wants Scotland to stay in the Union but want to hand Northern Ireland, aka Ulster, back to Ireland. Yeah, see, that's what I mean about that. There's some things he says I do agree with, but other things I do not. But the other things he does say, let's see. No, it's okay. I was wanting to get my sandwich. Do you say, oh, okay, that's fine. No worries. Okay. If you don't want to rent it, that's completely fine. No worries. Let's see. Second here. I'll do with the spanner. Maybe the best thing to do is actually go over some policies when it comes to the Scottish elections. So let me see here. Hold on one second. Yeah, cool. Right, that's fine. Let me just see if I can have a look at this part here. Maybe that could be a good idea for the stream, actually, now I think of it. Despite the fact we're about an hour in, let's have a look at some policies when it comes to sort of political parties for the Scottish election. So let's see. Hold on. Yeah, I just also got an update. I also got myself an Easter. Well, I've been given an Easter egg, which is pretty cool. So that's awesome. Let me see here. Where to find that? S&P manifesto. That's not what I'm looking for. Thank you anyway. No worries, that's totally fine. It's okay here. Oops. Right, let's see if we can find that here. So let's have a look and see if we can find here policy development. Right, so I'm on the Scottish Labour official website. Should get a good idea when it comes to what we have here. So, your campaign, working together for national recovery. Oh, that's not what I'm looking for. Hold on a sec. Our campaigns. Let's see. Mm-hmm. The Green Industrial Revolution, save our NHS. It's time to care about care. Abolish national standard for testing for 4 or 5-year-olds. Well, I could definitely say for one thing, when it comes to, I think it's also been said in the chat, in terms of pushing some form of degeneracy when it comes to children in schools, which I'm definitely not in favor of that. I don't want any degeneracy pushed onto children. Let's see here. Oh god, I think there's a bit of an argument going on in the chat, guys. Well, me with sticks. I mean, come on now. Try to be civil here, sir. Try to be civil, okay? Let me see here. Is this what I'm looking for? The manifesto here? Yeah, this might be it. Scottish Labour Manifesto 2019. Let's see here. Okay. Final say on Brexit, of course. Yep. Final. This is to do with the actual Labour. No, Scottish Labour, right? That's fine. Okay. So this is 2019, despite the fact. What's the guy's name? Yeah. So it's a bit. I don't want to say outdated, but then again, it could be still relevant for this upcoming election as well. Let me see. Or maybe not. Okay. Oops. There we go. So I'll do that. What should for that? Okay. Maybe not. Right. Right. Let's see. Getting a bit of a pain here, but on my back. Anyway, let's see. Right. Let's have a look at this part from The Guardian, of course. Let's have a look here. Mac and cheese on the go. Let's see. I'm in a marginal SNP seat. I'll only be voting Labour to get the SNP out. No other reason. I don't know. I really have no idea who I'm going to vote for. So it's like it's really hard to see who I would vote for in this case because it's mainly because there's really no other political party I would definitely would not support. They're not really for the general Scottish people. Well, what's that? Easter eggs are all halal now. Can I make it up? Jesus. God. Is everything halal nowadays? Like eggs, meat and all of that? Everything's to do with halal. Jesus. I won't vote for Scottish Labour due to their policies. Let's see, fuck all else. Gotta run. But good on you for being an informed voter and hating degeneracy. No worries all. Thank you for watching the stream. Let's see here. Labour about 500 votes away. Fuck, that's Charlie. Have a good night, everyone. Yeah, the same to you. Thank you for watching the stream. Again, I know that it's not been a very productive stream because I don't have anything on me just yet in terms of what I talked about. But in terms of that just now, I wasn't expecting this topic to be brought up, so I didn't think to maybe get any relevant information up with that. But anyway, oh, sorry, excuse me, anything like that. Hello, bacon. Jesus Christ. Orkney cheddar. Right. Let me see here. I'm going to see if I can find this once and for all. Why, in terms of for Scottish Labour, why I would not vote for them in this case. Let's see here. And no, it's not because of the fact of Anaz Sarwar skin color. It's definitely not to do with that whatsoever. Let me see. I suppose we can actually check this out. Let me see here. So I've got a video up here we can maybe watch together and see from that. So again, it's on the official Scottish Labour website. So see if we can get that here. I'll just have a watch of this here as well. So I think this is to do with some acceptance speech, but we'll give it a shot. Here we go.
It is the greatest honour of my life to be elected leader of the Scottish Labour Party. Thank you to our members and affiliates for putting your trust in me and giving me the opportunity to serve our movement. And thank you to Monica for joining me in what has been a positive campaign that has shown the best of our party, not the worst of our politics. We will work together to rebuild our party so that we have the opportunity to rebuild Scotland. I want to say directly to the people of Scotland, I know Labour has a lot of work to do to win back your trust. Because if we're brutally honest, you haven't had the Scottish Labour Party you deserve. With rising injustice, inequality and division, I'm sorry we haven't been good enough. And I will work day and night to change that so we can build the country we all need. Our party's history was founded on the strength of the Scottish people, and that is where its future lies too. We must capture the spirit of Keir Hardie, who founded our movement, of Donald Dewar, who turned the dream of devolution into a reality, and Gordon Brown, who led our nation's fight against the scandal of child poverty. We can do that again, but the hard graft starts here. As I take over Scottish Labour, I'm determined to bring that change. It's in my blood. 75 years ago, my grandfather came to Lossiemouth with nothing, searching for a better future. And he found one here. He was always meant to return back home, but instead he fell in love with Scotland and brought his own family here. 75 years on, from that boat arriving on these shores, he would never have imagined that his grandson would one day be elected to lead the Labour movement in Scotland. Today, we have elected the first ever ethnic minority leader of a political party in the UK.
Of course.
That doesn't say something about me. That says something great about Scotland and its people. But the fight for equality is far from over. And I'll work with all our diverse communities in Scotland to rebuild the country we love. This last year has been so hard for so.
Right, I just want to pause it there real quick because I just want to make this point real quick regarding to that. Probably one of the reasons why I definitely would not vote for Labour, the Scottish Labour Party, is one of the reasons why. So they talk about diversity and the equality. Of course, Anas mentions that he's like the first minority leader to be elected for, or well, not leader, but the first minority to be elected as leader of the Scottish Labour Party. No one cares. All right, no one gives a damn when it comes to that. The next part after that, he says, is that the equality has not been like done enough or anything like that, and still need to be worked on. Just it's never enough for these people whatsoever. They come into the country that we giving them everything on a silver fucking platter. They even go as far as becoming political figures within Scottish politics. But that's still never good enough for these people. It's never good enough, especially for Anas becoming the leader of the Scottish Labour Party. It's never enough. It's never enough for these people. Let's continue on from there.
So many. But by staying apart, we have come together like never before. We can't come through this and go back to the old arguments, fighting each other while our NHS loses out on funding. Our children miss out on a world-class education, and our towns and cities watch on as jobs move overseas. Instead, we've got to create a better future for Scotland, and we need to do that now. That's why in the coming weeks, we will set out our vision for Scotland. Instead of focusing on division, we will make the case for a COVID recovery parliament with an NHS restart plan at its heart, so we never again have to choose between treating a virus or treating cancer. We will set out a catch-up plan for our children because I won't let a generation of young people go forgotten. And we will set out a real vision for jobs for now and for the future, supporting good businesses to create good jobs. The task ahead is tough, but together there is nothing we cannot achieve. For too long, politicians have presented binary choices. Whether it's yes or no, leave or remain, They force you to pick a side. We can't go back to those old arguments. So I say to you directly, if you are worried about when or if you're going back to work, I'm on your side. If you're worried about your child's education or mental health, I'm on your side.
You're definitely not.
If you're worried about a cancelled operation or cancer diagnosis, I'm on your side. If you're worried about the planet we're leaving for our children and our grandchildren, I'm on your side. If you're the victim of inequality or injustice, I'm on your side. And I'm determined that the Labour Party I lead will always be on your side. Because I will be a leader that focuses on what unites our country, not what divides it. And to
Unless you disagree with us politically, then in that case you're a complete scumbag. See, that's the funny thing with the Labour Party. Back in the day, it definitely was a party that was for the working class. It was definitely for the little guy. Nowadays, with all this ongoing political correctness and the whole multiple genders, and of course teaching kids about utter degeneracy at such a very young age, the Labour Party is no longer a party for the working class people. It's for a specific minority group of people that are into this whole SJW, PC, political correctness bullshit. I mean, you want a better case in point example of that? Just look at fucking Brexit. No, not Brexit, sorry. Well, not just Brexit. Just look at the election that happened that was back in, I think it was 2018 or 2019. There were tons of people that, of course, the general election I'm on about here, there were tons of people up northern England who were like staunch supporters of Labour, but then decided to vote for Conservative as like a big fuck you to the Labour Party, or at least the modern day Labour Party. Now I know that's to do with like more English politics, but again it's part British altogether. But it does paint a better picture that the Labour Party, whether it's Scotland or England or anything like that at all, is no longer the party that it was. It's a shadow of its former self. And this whole thing where it's trying to be like a better party than it already is, I don't buy that for a second. I do not buy that for a clear second.
together we will build a better future for Scotland. Thank you.
That was another thing that also came into mind. What was it? I know you people, everyone in the chat has also heard about this already, but Alex Salmond, he's forming his own political party in response to like what happened with the SNP. Despite the fact it's the same type of party as the SNP, where it's like pro-independence and whatnot. But with that, it's actually it's going to be very interesting where that party goes. Maybe it's going to be the next SNP, but who knows? We just need to wait and see with that. Anyway, let me see if I can get back onto here real quick. Oops, there we go. Okay, so Joe Citizens in the chat. Hello, sir. How are you doing? Let's see here. The Green New Deal shit. As sincere as a fart in the lift. Oh dear. It's also tiresome. Yeah, it's getting a bit all tiresome regarding to politics and all of that, but what's that? Okay, here. No, just like it's some from D-Life, no worries. That's fine. Well, I guess that's about that regarding to Anas Sawar, so. Labor support for the beta male. Jesus Christ. Hello, Joe Citizen. Hello, how you doing? Thank you for watching the stream. Let's see. He's already been eaten for 5. Next one is for good. Oh, jeez. Just want to also see how many sides is this swarthy gentleman on, for fuck's sake. Jeez. Let's see here. People of Scotland, always the same anti-white hatred. I'm already seething. Yeah, in my blood. Yeah, this whole thing I've also noticed in the video. But let me just kind of go back onto that video real quick. There was stuff there I did also notice as well. Of course, he talks about his dad or his granddad like moved over here, and now of course they become like Scottish citizens and whatnot. But yeah, this whole argument, and also Hamza Yusuf says this as well. But this entire argument that people like them claiming to, even though they were born here, but they think they're fully blooded Scottish people, is completely disingenuous. All right, this entire idea. Look, sure, they're Scottish citizens. Don't get me wrong; they're Scottish nationals within the country, but ethnically speaking, they're not Scottish. They're like Pakistani or Indian. Or I think it's more. I know Hamza Yusuf is Pakistani, but and as I think Pakistani as well. But the fact of the matter is that they're not fully blooded Scottish. All right, they're not. They never have been, and they never will be. So this whole argument about Anas is speaking for the Scottish people. Let's be honest here, all right? He's not actually talking about the native indigenous Scottish people. He's talking about the new Scots, the new term being brought up. People coming here, whether they were born here or moving over here, and be considered to be the new Scots. That's who he's referring to. He's not talking about the indigenous people being white people in Scotland, of course. Can I be as Pakistani as him? I mean, you can, I guess. But then again, some people would think, no. So, well, it's funny because, again, going back to this whole argument, hold on, a dog born in a stable doesn't make it a horse, exactly. Well, again, that kind of goes back to what I was saying. It's kind of like the idea of like if you're like a white person of European descent, you were born in you were born to European background, parents, whatnot, but you're living in, say, China, for example. Will that make you Chinese? Of course not. Definitely not. You're still white to begin with. Like, yeah, you're a Chinese citizen, but you're not ethnically Chinese. You're ethnically European or ethnically white. He's as Scottish as his passport. That's a Ricky Dillon thing. I know we covered him before, but whenever the whole passport thing gets brought up like that, I always instantly think of I think of Ricky Dillon. If they have a passport, they're British. That will never go away. That will never go away whatsoever. Let's see here. Just having a look. Sorry, I'm still here. I'm just having a further look into the chat as well. Let me see here. Another big thing. I actually want to check out Scottish Labour Party's policies when it comes to education. Again, just real quick, because there is definitely some things in there that I definitely do not agree with whatsoever. Let me see here. For education, let's see here. Here we go. Scottish Labour education. Sorry, excuse me. Where's it together for the national? It's not showing me the actual page. That's absolutely gay. Come on. Let's see here. How come it's not allowing me to show? I mean, not like showing it like share screen, but how come I'm on the website now, but it's not allowing me to? So I have to become a member with that. Fuck off. All I want to know is the actual policies of that, and that's it. Nothing. All right, okay, that's fine. Never mind. Yeah, no worries with that. So let's see here. I'll get back into that just now. Passport to Mecca. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, inclusive patriotism. Laugh my ass off. Actually, China is made of dozens of different ethnicities. Look, Sticks, it's mainly Chinese people, and even then, like, yes, there are different ethnicities that come into the country, but they're not being treated like fairly as well. which is for another country I'm also thinking of as well with that, like Japan, for instance. Overwhelmingly Japanese, but there are some foreigners that do live in Japan, but they get treated completely differently than the native people. If I was to have a quick look at that, actually, that'd be interesting to look at. Hold on, let me see if ethnicities in China. That'd be interesting to kind of cover as well. Let's see. Ethnic minorities in China, that's not ethnic groups in China. And also, just to kind of answer, where was your question? Oh, here we go. Why do you care? Why do you care? You talk about ethnicity, but can't point out why it's inherently better. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm sorry. What do you mean by that, Sticks? I mean, obviously ethnicity does exist, but there's definitely a thing when it comes to other countries, whether being in Europe or Asia or in Africa, all the other continents. Ethnicity does play a factor into all of that. So I don't understand your question of, but can't point out why it is inherently better. Like, what do you mean by that? Let's see. The Japanese are kamikazes. Let me see. Oh, here we go. Right. So, looking through ethnic groups recognized by the People's Republic of China. Let's see here. What I'll do is I can also share that as well. Now, I'm not entirely too sure if maybe this would be a very resourceful piece of information because it's Wikipedia, but because it's to do with like a list of ethnic groups in China, maybe, just maybe, it could be very ideal when it comes to this particular topic. So, for example, Han Chinese, which I'm assuming is the ethnic group of the Han people within China. So about 91 point, let's just say almost, it's about 91, 92% of that ethnicity in China. There's Zhuang, which is 1.2, Hui was 0.7, so on and so forth. So yeah, you're right, Sticks. There's multiple ethnicity groups within China, but it's very like a small minority, a very, very small minority compared to that. So let me see here. I'll go back onto that here. Okay, perfect. There we go. 100 over 90%. Yeah, I even said it with the list there. So preserving your ethnicity is akin to preserving your own family. Yeah, absolutely true. Definitely. I really don't understand why is such a bad thing to preserve anything like that at all. Not just when it comes to, like, say, your own people being skin color, but your own culture, your own history and all that. Like, what exactly is so wrong with preserving all of that? I mean, we're seeing it in the West, in European countries, where our history is completely, so slowly but surely being replaced. And we never ever do see that when it comes to any other cultures or any other histories from other cultures or ethnicity groups or anything like that at all. But it's always been done to, say, like Westernized or even European countries. Funny that. Let's see here. And I guess there's someone in the chat, I don't know if it was Stix or someone else, but point out this point here. Hold on. I'd say every Chinatown, the UK, and everywhere else would beg to differ. It's a large world population, and I've said, quick Stix, why preserve the whales? Let me see here. Why is preserving ethnicity important? It's definitely important because, it goes back to both our history and our culture. we're seeing a massive shift when it comes to ethnicity groups here in the West, whether it's here in Britain or in America or any other European country. Now, I know America is not like a European country, but the fact of the matter is, white people are slowly but surely being replaced. And it's not even to the point where they're even hiding it anymore. It's right out of the open with that. I mean, just look what's going on in today's culture. There's like a massive influx of amount of hatred towards white people when it comes to our education system, when it comes to the media or anything like that at all. You're seeing it everywhere. You're seeing it on advertisements and such, like this kind of such a complete anti-white hatred. Like, if you're white, you need to be accountable for your actions in the past. And again, it's not even being subtle or anything like that at all. It's definitely being out in the open with it. And of course, with the influx of many foreigners coming into the country, again, regardless of which European country it is, but there's been a massive influx of foreigners coming into and say again for like Britain, for example, right? This was all even going on when the first lockdown happened with the whole COVID-19, which again is very bizarre because we're all in a lockdown. Why then? Because the whole point of a lockdown during a pandemic is no one is allowed to go in or out of the country, but yet all these foreigners keep coming in. And I'm trying to remember the name of the professor. I can't remember. One sec. I've got notes here about that guy. Wait a minute. He was a doctor or professor at Oxford University. David Coleman, that's his name. Yeah. So David Coleman, he once made a piece about this, about the ever-growing changes within demographics in the UK. And he did say at one point, if the trends continue the way as they are, the ethnically white British people will become a minority by 2066, I think the year was, to be exact. Now, Sticks, you may be wondering, well, what's so wrong with that? Why are you so worried about the white people become a minority? Because for years, countries like Scotland, England, Wales, Northern Ireland, any other European country, etc., have always been ethnically white. And just this idea of like, oh, well, it's about time we should embrace changes like more like browns or blacks coming into European countries. Like, no, I don't buy that for a second. Like, do you honestly think like a black person can become, well, at least in the future times to come, do you honestly think that a black person would be like a proper Scottish like native within the country, like ethnically speaking? Absolutely not. I don't buy this idea of like this whole diversity and shit that's going down, because this whole diversity and the PC stuff that's going on just now with that, and even to a further extent when it comes to the topic of racism, they're all basically code words for just anti-whiteness. It's all just a way of trying to replace us one by one. And I also, Sticks, of all the people I know on this platform, I just don't understand why you don't see that. I mean, and to be fair on that, when I was a Ethno, I didn't see that at all. But before becoming an Ethno, or even when I did become one, or during the whole Black Lives Matter protests happened, well, protests, I put that lightly, happened last year. I started looking into that a lot more, and noticed that ethnicity does play a factor within society when it comes to that. Race is more than just skin color. It's to do with culture. It's to do with history, and so on and so forth. So why is preserving ethnicity important? Because again, these countries have always been a white majority countries. I mean, again, going back to what was asked again previously before. Well, the same argument can be made when it comes to the continent of Africa. Well, there's more Asian people moving into Africa or more whites moving into Africa. The African people should embrace that change. You know, like, no one would ever say that. Nobody would ever say that whatsoever. Or any other Asian country, again, like say Japan. Oh, there's more white people, there's more black people or non-Japanese people moving into Japan, and the Japanese, they may not like it, but they sure will need to accept it. You think that will ever happen? Absolutely not. So, and the thing is, I don't want those countries or continents to be minorities of their ethnicities either. So again, with this idea of Britain to be a super white majority, I would definitely want that to be remained as that. And of course, even if it doesn't, if it doesn't happen like that, say in the future by 2066, Britain becomes, or at least the white British people become a minority in Britain. Do you really think they're going to be treated kindly with non-whites in Britain? Absolutely not. There have been multiple anti-white attacks that happened in South Africa, even happening here in Britain or even in America. And the stuff that you're seeing now, you think that's bad? Just wait until you get to 2066, when, again, with everything going on with this anti-white hatred within the media, within our education system, anything to do with that, you think it's bad now, it's going to get even worse later on down the line, because we're being taught that if you're white, you need to be held accountable for your actions, and you're being treated as a scumbag, regardless of where you stand socially or politically or anything like that at all. So, and also kind of going back to your previous question, I think you asked this before, Sticks, about, well, white people in the past don't get along, so what makes you think they're going to stick together regarding to this? Which, look, that's a fair point to make. That is definitely something true in the past, or even happening now, where not all white people tend to agree on everything, whether it be the French not being fans of the English, or the English, or even the Scottish and the English are not too keen on each other to begin with because of history reasons. That definitely does happen in the past, and also is happening now. But in the long run, again, with the demographic changes, they're not going to look at you and think, oh, well, we'll give you a free pass because you're Scottish, or you get a free pass because you're French. They will not give a damn about that. As long as you're white, they'll treat you like scum. They will see you as a complete, like almost like the devil in some way or form. Like as if you're the worst of the worst because of your skin color. And that's what's being taught right now, that to this very day. And again, I know it sounds like I'm repeating myself here, but you think it's going to get better in the long run? No, it's going to get far worse if something doesn't change. It's definitely going to get a lot worse. And I think a lot of people are starting to wake up over it, because I've noticed that with the BLM riots that happened last year, well, not just with the riots, but over here in the UK with the defacing of the statues and whatnot. I think a lot of people are actually waking up to the fact that, yes, ethnicity does play a factor within our society. There's definitely differences between the races, between whites and blacks and Asians and so on and so forth. And I think people are slowly but surely waking up to that fact, especially when it comes to the new passes of these like hate crime bills that are being passed. I think that's making people feel a lot more awake, a lot more, because they're seeing that and think, well, if there's nothing wrong to say anything about this or that, then why are they having these bills being passed with that? It's making people think a lot more about that in the future. So, but again, that's just only my speculation with that. Might not be the case, or maybe not. Who knows? So, no one likes the Jews. Oh dear. Let me see. Just have a quick look at the chat room, because it kind of feels a bit like a diatribe or a bit like a small rant. Everything with that. Let's see. Everything will go to shit. Look at Notre Dame in Paris. Oh, yeah, that's a prime example of that. Yeah. One of the most famous buildings in France, and yet look what happened to Notre Dame. It was horrible what happened to that. White Western men invented modern civilization. If we vanish, humanity will be back in the Dark Ages. Let me see. Diversity and multiculturalism is a weapon used against white people. Let's see here. Yes, there's plenty of minorities who contribute way more to our culture than the average white Scot. Cultures have intermingled since the dawn of time. Nah, I don't buy that. I don't buy that for a second, that since the dawn of time. Well, I think it'd be like further. It was never like the dawn of time or anything like that at all. I think that in terms of the whole early phases of globalism, well, I don't know if you want to call it that, but in terms of other nations kind of intermixing together, I think we've been kind of seeing that in terms of maybe the 18th or the 19th century when the dawn of the Industrial Revolution happened, or anything like that at all. So I wouldn't say it's been intermingled with cultures like since the dawn of time. Like I think that's a bit of a stretch with that one, but and also this one here. Only if we treat them badly, maybe. No. I guess that's a reference to what I said about white people being treated badly in the future, and because of the response of minorities. No. Even if you're a white person, right, especially what's going on now, you can try and treat people like non-whites as respectful as humanly possible, treat them kindly, treat them fairly, treat them like human beings and whatnot. But with those people, it's never enough. It's never enough with them. They will treat you like complete scumbags because you're white. And it's all down to the fact of being taught through history. And when it comes to that, again, when it comes to black people, they'll use slavery as an excuse of, well, we need to treat, well, because of what you whites did to us black folk, everything's happened to you now, you pretty much deserve it, which is complete bullshit. Because look, black people were not the first victims of slavery, nor were white people were the ones that invented slavery. Many races in the past have been slave owners, and many races in the past have been slaves. But this whole entire idea that white people were only slave owners and were never slaves to begin with is complete bullshit. I mean, just look at the Irish, for instance. The Irish were treated like slaves in the past, but again, that gets swept under the rug as per fucking usual. Because again, it completely defeats the whole narrative of what they're trying to say here. Guys, oh god. Your ideology just goes down a rabbit hole of eugenics. It's pro-Nazism. No, it's just the way that is. Look, like race at the end of the day does play a factor into our society. There's definitely differences between the races, between whites, blacks, Asians, and so forth. But even with that being said, as much as I'm aware of the differences between the races, I'm not going to treat them any differently. Because look, I don't hate blacks or Asians or anything like that at all. Me as an ethnonat, what I want to see for Britain is just to be a super white majority country. I don't want blacks or Asians or anyone else like non-whites to be kicked out of the country or anything like that at all. If they want to stay here and contribute to society and pay taxes and all of that, again, that's completely fine. But if they want to be given money and go back to where they came from in terms of ancestry homelands or anything like that, again, that's also completely fine. I don't want Britain or even Scotland, for that matter, to be an overwhelmingly, or even just a white ethno state. I would want Scotland to be a super majority white ethno state. But again, going back to that question of the whole of eugenics, it's just that's just the way it is. It's just reality. There's definitely differences between the races. It's something that we all cannot deny here. We cannot deny it. So. Let's see here. Skin color is the least important aspect of ethnicity. It's all the other character traits that come along with it that are important. Yeah, which I think I've said before, like to do with history, to do with culture, and so on and so forth. Like it's more than you're right, Sodanum. It's more than just skin color, because it's easy to say as to do with skin color, but it's more than just skin color. Let me see. Imagine walking up in Pakistan and shouting about how there's too many Middle Eastern people. You'd be given a rooftop tour before you cease to exist. Well, that's the funny thing, isn't it? Going back to what I said earlier on, you will never see that in non-white countries. Like a white politician going into like a play like a parliament or anything like that at all, say India or Japan or anything like that at all, and say, there's too many Japanese people or too many Indians live in this country. There should be more representation and like more diversity within these countries. That would never happen over in those third world countries, or at least like, well, not just third world countries, but you would never see anything like that. You would be either laughed out of the room or probably fucking executed for it. You would never see anything like that. But you're only seeing that in westernized countries, here in Scotland, for example, with Hamza Yusuf, which I know I've mentioned that before, but it's a prime case example of Hamza Yusuf having such disdain for the indigenous people of Scotland, to the point where you just ask, well, what are you doing as a Scottish politician to begin with? Why are you even here then? If you don't like it here, if you think it's too oppressive or too horrible or nasty to your kind, then just leave then. Go back to your own ancestral homeland and run politics there. Moody, the mass rape of white British girl. I know. Yeah, I know. That's another thing that I forgot to mention about that. With the, of course, the mass rapes of white British girls by these Muslim rape gangs, but well, I think I might have seen that before. That's fine. Let me see here. Rob D, Chief, when you get quick sticks on the stream. Well, see, the thing with that is, I did ask him before if he wanted to come on the stream, maybe for a debate, but apparently he doesn't want to debate with like or share a platform with fascists. But it's up to him if he wants to debate or not. So I've asked him before, but he turned it down, and then it was like, all right, if he doesn't want to do it, then so be it with that. Quick prick, I grew up in a white area. Fortune the chat to get him on. No, don't get quit on because I can't be bothered listening to his male voice. Let me see here. That's fine. Let's see. Oh, yeah, actually does want to come on. All right, that's fine. Bring me at some point. All right. Well, what to do is it's just coming towards the end of the stream anyway. So, Sticks, if you're watching, if you'd like to engage in a debate finally on my channel or your channel or anything like that at all, then we could definitely have a set something up for maybe next week if you want. So, yeah, I'm definitely down for that. That's fine. Yeah, I'll come on now. Come on, not now, but another time. Yeah, that's that again. That's fine. Cool. Well, what to do is, folks. I'll speak to Sticks in private again. See if we can sort something out for maybe. I don't know if next week or at some point. But if Sticks is up for a debate for that, we'll definitely have a look into that. So. Let's see. Do it on my iPod cast channel. What's that exactly, Sticks? If you don't mind me asking. Once a voice yet refuses to debate online. Oh, okay. Let's see. No, man, honestly, he just taught us beta pitch. My God. Oh, jeez. Oh, God. Oh, God. Yeah, he's asking to come on. That's fine. 14. Is it RJ Stitch in his final form? Let him come to you with the, oh, let's see. It's called Your Internet Friends. Oh, right, okay. I mean, I wouldn't mind that, but I mean, I would much prefer it on my channel when it comes to that, Sticks. But again, you know where you can find me on Twitter. We can have a discussion. What we could do from there, of course. So it's good to debate. And no, definitely it's good to debate. So getting other people's perspective when it comes to politics and all of that. So yeah, it definitely is a good thing to debate regarding to that. So yeah, that's fine. So that's fine. Looks like we'll definitely set something up with that. So it'll be Chief Moody, myself versus Quick Sticks Productions and a future debate. Again, not tonight because it is getting a bit late after all regarding to that. So again, we'll definitely see in the future. But Sticks, if you're watching, I know it sounds like I'm repeating myself here, and I do apologize for that. We could definitely set something up, and if you're up for it, then great, awesome. We'll definitely set something up in the future. So. Let's see. Again, I don't know if it would be maybe again. I want to see it on my channel, despite the fact it would definitely be non-biased or anything with that at all. But again, we'll definitely see from there. So we'll have a gander with that. Let me see. Oh, what's that? Chief Winnie, what about the Rev Simon Sideways neutral territory? Oh yeah, he's like a moderator type of dude, isn't he? Yeah. All right. Yeah, that's a good shout, Joe. Yeah. Well, what to do is we'll definitely talk more about that anyway. So that's fine. Okay, that's fine. Will you man come back? Oh, guys. Anyway, so it looks like I'm definitely going to finally. Well, yeah. Sorry, some of words here. Looks like it's a case I might be going into a debate. That's totally fine. Cool. Awesome. Again, we'll definitely see if we can sort something out with that. Maybe also get like a moderator. So what that is, again, as Joel Citizen put it, it's neutral territory. So it's not biased between, say, someone from his side or someone from my side, which again, a very good point to make when it comes to that Joel Citizen. And I don't know if Rev Simon would be up for that, but maybe so. Who knows? But it's cool to see. And I'm actually pretty excited for that. Looks like it's definitely going to happen at some point. It probably is a bit, as I said, too late to do a debate now because again, it's getting a bit late regarding to that. So we'll definitely check something out later on. Hopefully, something next week or maybe the week after, but who knows? I'll definitely keep you guys posted with that. So, but I actually can't wait. I'm actually pretty buzzing for that now. That's gonna be awesome. That cool. So it's now 7:45. I think what I'll do is I'll end it just before 8 o'clock because I think Mark, hold on, what's that? Tail feature could be mod if he will do it. Yeah, that's a good shout, actually, Sticks. Yeah, because tail feature, like, he's. Well, I don't know if that may be the right way to say it, but maybe he's like a fence. Well, I don't want to say it like a fence there also, but. Let's see. Don't agree with many of the Rev Simon stances, but he'd be up for it, and he's a likable guy. Okay. I prefer Knives at Dawn. Okay, cool. So that's either Rev Simons or Tail Feature as moderator. Right, that's fair enough. Well, again, we'll definitely see if we can come up with something with that, and then check back on that. So awesome. Okay, that's cool. So. Perfect. So I don't know if it's maybe if I could say it's official, but again, maybe something in the works. But we'll definitely get some back for that. So we could definitely sort something out and get back to you guys as soon as we possibly can with that. Anyway, so Rev is fair. Yeah, that's no worries. Dual and MK2. I hope it's not going to be like Dual and MK2, so but hopefully not. So what I'll do is I'll just go on the stream just a little bit more. Is there any further questions to ask? Because I was just also going to say, I think Mark is going to be doing like another Call of Duty Warzone stream at 8 o'clock tonight, if I'm not mistaken. Hold on one second, because I think Chris advertised that on Telegram, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Warzone Tournament 5, so that's going to be tonight at 8 p.m. That's fair. With his cardboard sign. Okay. 1 second here. Chief Mary, here's his debate channel. All right, hold on. Let me see if I can find. What is that? We don't see eye to eye on a lot, but he's also not an ethno nationalist. Yeah, no, that's true. A tail feature. I know exactly who that is. Yeah, because him and I talked quite a few times in the past. So when I was accepting that myself. So yeah, again, that's a good shout with that tail feature. Again, we'll definitely see if we can figure something out with that. Whether it be Simon or Tail Future, we don't know, but we'll see from there. Right. Well, let me see if I can get to reference Simon's Sideways channel. Hold on one sec. Right. Right, pause that. And click on that. Yep, so that's the Simon's channel. Okay. Perfect. So subscribe to that. Yeah, so just subscribe to Simon's channel there, Jules. So thank you very much for pointing that out. I'll definitely check that out later on and see from there. So, okay, cool. I'm actually pretty buzzing for that now. Well, this stream turned out to be mental. Wasn't expecting that. Well, I wasn't expecting that either. So, anyway, well, no, I'm actually pretty, I'm looking forward to that. So that's gonna be really awesome. Cool. All right, perfect. So, what's the ones for? Has everyone hit that like button? One, if you have, everyone's saying they press the like button. Well, cool, awesome. Looks like the majority of the people in the stream have done that. That's awesome for you guys. Thank you very much. Again, just like with the previous streams, I do apologize if it's not like the most informative streams I've done in terms of like articles or any newsworthy stuff to talk about. But again, I just thought I would still make a stream for you guys to begin with, and hopefully you guys have enjoyed tonight anyway. So waiting for the one dislike, it'll happen, darn. It will happen. Don't worry. That's fine then. So what to do? I'm just going to do this real quick. I can't believe I forgot to do this, even though I was on YouTube to begin with. Right, let me see if I can find this. Copy that. Yeah. That's fine. Perfect. Hit the like, waiting for the one dislike. Oh dear. Cool. So that's going to be really exciting. So again, I do apologize if it sounds like I'm repeating myself here, but hopefully next week we'll set something up on like a debate or anything like that at all. Whether it be on my channel or Stix's other channel, or maybe Reverend Simon's channel or Tail Feature, I don't know. But we'll definitely figure something out, and we'll definitely keep you guys up to date, any news or anything like that at all. But I think it's going to be a very interesting debate as well. That's going to be very, very exciting to come. And hopefully it might happen next week. I don't know. Maybe the week after. But again, I'll keep you guys posted with that, if any future updates, and then see from there, of course. What I'll do in the meantime, let me see if copy and paste that. Here is the link for Mark Collette's upcoming stream for the Call of Duty Warzone Tournament 5. So if you're up for watching that, that's the link for that there. And if you're going to be watching that stream, just tell Mark in the chat I've sent you or anything like that. So I mean, you don't have to, but it'd be cool if you did. So let's see. Very well done. Well, thank you very much. No, Feel No Way. I don't think I've seen you before. Feel No Way. I think you're like a new person watching or anything like that. If you are new, then thank you very much for tuning into the stream. I really do appreciate that. Jewel, yes indeed, and that's what makes it provocative, definitely. But no, definitely the chat is very epic. I mean, again, a lot of people keep coming back for it, which is awesome. So that's really cool. So yeah, that seems to be pretty much it. Great stuff, Chief and chat. Well, thank you very much, Journal Fox. I really appreciate that. Now what I'm going to do is play like an outro. So I might as well just end the stream here just now, but it's been a very, I see maybe towards the end of the stream, it's been very eventful. Definitely very eventful. What I'm going to do now is play a outro song, especially in today's being like Easter Sunday. I thought maybe this song might be like an ideal way to not only promote Easter, but also kind of it fits the themes of Easter to begin with. Thanks, lads. Well, thank you very much, Gammon. Right, so what I'll just do now, guys, is I'll end the stream just now, And then with that link, please feel free to head over to Mark Collette's upcoming stream for Call of Duty Warzone. That should be it. Let me just also share the screen as well for the outro song. Also see if I can mute myself as well. Great stream, Chief, and all in chat. Good night. Good night to you too, Sparky. Thank you very much for watching. And also, Jarl Borg, thank you very much for watching the stream. And lastly, Tony Smith, great stream, Chief. Looking forward to the next one. Looking forward to that too. Thank you for watching. So that's going to be awesome. Cool. So I'm just going to also mute myself and you guys listen to the outro song from Far Cry 5. So hopefully you might appreciate this song. But anyway, this has been Chief Moody signing out. I will see you all next time. You take care and have a lovely Easter. Thank you.
They'll look high and they'll look low.
They'll look everywhere we go.
But when the sinners find us, we won't hide. They'll come loud and they'll come fast.
We shoot first and we can last.
Keep your rifle by your side. Singing, oh Lord, this earth was made for us. Singing, oh Lord, this sinful life just ain't enough. So we'll take a stand, 'cause we must protect our land. Keep your rifle by your side.
They'll come day and they'll come night. They'll have our children in their sights. But if they don't have faith, their eyes are blind.
They can scream and they can shout, but they can never smoke us out. Keep your rifle by your side. Singing, oh Lord, this earth was made for us. Singing, oh Lord, this sinful life just ain't enough. When we hear the voice, we know we have no other choice. Keep your rifle by your side. They'll have bombs and they'll have tanks, 'cause they got money in their banks. But we won't fall as long as we can fight.
They'll go on to preach their hate, but they won't get past the gate.
Keep your rifle by your side. Singing, oh Lord, this earth was made for us. Singing, oh Lord, this sinful life just ain't enough. When I see your face, I know I must protect my place. I'll keep my rifle by my side. Singing, oh Lord, this earth was made for us. Singing, oh Lord, this sinful life just ain't enough. When I see your face, I know I must protect my